It's the final
All right.
line of mine. That'll be so sweet.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news.
What we got?
Tesla and Figaro, good morning.
Good morning, DJ Envy, and good morning and happy birthday to my brother, Cancer Gang, June Cancer Gang, Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the hood whisperer, Tesla and Figaro. Thank you. What's happening?
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. President Biden. So tell us, give us some updates on President
Biden.
I mean Biden.
What is he biting? His time? His time? Jesus Christ.
I already know what you guys are going to say about this story, but hey, I got to report the news. President Joe Biden in recent weeks has started using a CPAP machine at night to help with sleep apnea. The revelation comes after indents from the mask were visible on the president's face as he departed the White House on his way to Chicago to deliver a speech about the economy. The president has disclosed that he had,
stuff like that.
They pay attention to everything. They don't miss anything. It was like huge. Google the photo. It was like huge indents in his face.
Hey, he's 97 years old. He probably just got wrinkles and craters.
No, it was like major indents, and obviously it wasn't wrinkles. It was from the machine that he sleeps with at night.
Damn.
Yeah, literally the straps. So the president, he disclosed that he had sleep apnea in 2008. But for those that don't know, a CPAP machine, it is a motorized device that pumps air through a mask to open a sleeper's airway. About 5 million people use the CPAP machine. Now, even though President Biden did disclose his condition, it did not come up during the recent physical in February. So, but they did say that when he was vice president, they noted that he had an irregular heartbeat, probably linked to sleep apnea. Now, according to the American Medical Association, roughly 30 million people in the U.S. are thought to have the condition, but only about 6 million are diagnosed with it. So, yeah, it was big, huge indents that they noticed. The press corps noticed.
Don't people with sleep apnea like literally stop breathing during the night?
Some people do, yeah.
Yeah, literally stop breathing, sometimes for up to a minute and hundreds of times a night, and then wake up with loud gasping and snoring. This condition prevents them from getting a deep restorative sleep. So untreated sleep apnea can lead to dangerous drowsiness and increased heart attack risk. So the problem is more common in men than it is women.
And it's very important to note it's not an age thing with sleep apnea.
No, not at all.
When I was doing all my cardiovascular tests earlier this year, they wanted me to do one of those sleep apnea tests. I think I did it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about how they asked Biden about Putin, and he said he's losing the war in Iraq.
You want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, they asked Putin, what is his thoughts on Putin? And he says Putin is losing the war in Iraq.
I'm going to tell you something, man. The biggest issue Joe Biden going to face in 2024 is Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
I saw a poll that came out this week, and I think he's leading Trump in a general election poll by like 4 points or something like that. But everybody's concerned about his age and his mental well-being. Is he physically capable of being able to do the job because he's so old? His biggest problem he's gonna have in 2024 is himself.
And it's not his age, is who he is right now at that age. Because there's a lot of people how old is he? 80 years old?
97.
Yo, shut up, man. There's a lot of people at 80 years old that has their wits and has their things for them and has no problem. But the fact that he's mistaken, Iraq for Ukraine, the fact that he's been shaking people's hands that are not there, the fact that he's, tripping over sandbags and all types of things like that, like it's making me nervous.
Imagine what he does when he got to go to the bathroom. Imagine how confusing that is for him. He'd probably pee in the shower and try to wash in the toilet.
Yo, shut up, man. But
and then another. Go ahead, Envy.
No, I was going to say it's scary, because he is the leader of the free world. He's the one that represents us. And if he's having these problems in front of the camera, could you just imagine what's happening behind the camera, all the things that they've been trying to hide? And,
he probably brushes
scary.
his ass and wipes his mouth.
Yo, shut up, man.
And even besides that, just when we just look at policy, yesterday the speech in Chicago, they called it Bidenomics, kind of, going off the play of Reaganomics. And even James Carville, Carville. James Carville is a big, staunch Democrat. And even he said, I was watching him yesterday on MSNBC, and he said it just wasn't a good idea to attach his name to Bidenomics because people just don't feel like the economy, is in their favor. So even though there's been some good things for a lot of folks, the motivation is just not there, or they haven't done a good job messaging it or letting people know, hey, these are the things that we've been able to do. So right now, I just see this probably being one of the lowest turnouts ever, and not just with Joe Biden, but also Donald Trump. People they don't want either one of these candidates.
That's right.
Either one.
And James Carville, I like James Carville because he's always objective, but he's always said for a long time, Democrats are terrible with their messaging.
All right. All right. Well, that is front page news. Now, Tez, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
Look what I did to your little dog.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. Let us know how your night was, or today is Charlamagne's birthday. If you want to send Bae some birthday love, you can do that as well. 800-585-1051. That's Bae. You don't know that's Bae? That's my husband over there. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now let's get in some front page news. Teslin Figaro is back with us.
Of course, DJ Envy and Charlamagne. Good morning, and happy birthday, Red. It's his birthday as well.
It is
Charlamagne,
Red, of course. It is Red birthday. Happy born
so
to our guy
love.
Red. Red is our born out, man. That's the redheaded Puerto Rican board out that y'all be lusting over on social media. They be lusting over Red on social media.
They be lusting over Red? Okay.
Yeah, all right, Red. Well, let's jump right into the news. Let's talk about a woman who fatally shot an Uber driver because she thought she was being kidnapped.
Yeah, this is crazy. A crazy story. A Kentucky woman, Phoebe Copas, has been accused of fatally shooting her West Texas Uber driver after mistakenly believing she was being kidnapped and taken to Mexico. Now, Copas was charged with murder in the death of 52-year-old Daniel Garcia. The shooting took place on June 16th as Garcia was driving Copas to a location in far southeast El Paso. Copas is from Thompsonville, Kentucky, and she was in El Paso visiting her boyfriend. And during the ride, she saw traffic signs that said Juarez, Mexico. So she thought she was being kidnapped and taken to Mexico. She grabbed a handgun from her purse, shot Garcia in the head. The vehicle crashed into barriers before coming to a stop on the freeway.
Jesus. She didn't check the Uber app to see which direction she was going or Waze and none of that first?
Right. That's what I was wondering too, because it shows you exactly where it's going. And according to the affidavit, they said the area that she crashed in was not even in close proximity to a bridge or a port of entry or any other area that had immediate access to travel to Mexico. And the police did say that they did not find any evidence that even supported anything close to a kidnapping or that she was veering off of the destination, to answer your question. So the car was en route. According to the maps. They also said that she called 911 and took a photo of the guy and texted to her boyfriend. I don't know what that was about.
I feel so sorry for this driver, and I also feel sorry for this young woman because clearly she fell victim
she really thought
to
she
a
was
lot of the
kidnapped.
fear mongering that you see on social media. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this stuff you see online, like you hear these cases about people being kidnapped and, possibly taken to Mexico. I just think her anxiety and her fear and paranoia got the best of her in that situation. Not making any excuses.
Yeah, no, I really feel like she really thought she was being kidnapped and she wasn't, which is scary because that man lost his life because all he was trying to do was do his job.
Absolutely. Like that is the worst case of profiling. That is why profiling is so wrong. When you profile a people and you profile a community and you think that a certain community is going to do X, Y, and Z to you, that's what it leads to, man. I feel so sorry for both of them in that situation, but especially the person who lost their life.
All right.
So I think they have for those who may be interested, they do have a GoFundMe available because he was the sole provider, for their family. So if folks want to look into that and help out, they can.
Damn, man.
And I wonder, and this is just a question. I wonder if she was on anything, like if she was high or edibles, or even if she was drinking, because sometimes those effects will make you think something even more. Like if you
that's sativa.
Yeah,
that sativa will definitely give you a panic attack.
Yeah, I wonder. All right, now let's talk about these UPS workers. Are they going on strike?
Yeah, this is a big thing that's happening and reaching the deadline close here on July 31st. So early this month, the Teamsters Union representing UPS workers voted to authorize a strike if no agreement is reached by July 31st, when the existing contract will expire. Now, UPS strike will be historic. If the 340,000 UPS Teamsters decided to strike, it would be the largest single employer strike in U.S. history. The last time UPS workers decided to strike, it was over 25 years ago. 185,000 workers conducted a 15-day walkout, crippling delivery services. So this is a big thing. I don't know anybody who does not use UPS. And this would absolutely, cripple not only how people do business, but it would absolutely affect the economy as well.
What they asking for?
They're asking for no more excessive overtime, no more two-tier pay, higher part-time pay, more full-time jobs, job security for feeders and packet drivers, video cameras, which I think is good, harassment protection. And they made some progress. I don't know if you guys knew. Did you know that a lot of these UPS trucks, most of them don't have air conditioning? So they were asking
no doors.
Yeah, they don't have no doors.
But still seem like you have something, something still to have some type of air, so that was one of the things that they asked for, and they were able to accomplish that on June 13th to make sure that all of the vehicles moving forward will have either air conditioning or 2 fans.
Now, hold on now. I love UPS, but I might have to push back on that too.
Which one?
Y'all
you
ain't got
push
no
back on the air conditioning?
Yeah, no,
got
there's no doors. They should. Yeah, they don't have no. Well, no, they gotta have doors. They have doors.
Right, do they?
Yeah, they can close the doors.
But that's hot air, and that's hot air. We're talking about record-breaking heat.
Yeah,
so even if you got the doors, you can still have something cool.
Nah, they have doors because when they riding on the highway or when they ride, they gotta close the doors. But they
I
have
ain't
doors.
never noticed. I always thought UPS trucks ain't had no doors.
Nah, the doors are always open because it's easy for them to jump out and deliver. But when they're on the highway, they gotta close them doors.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would say. I was like, well, first of all, y'all need doors.
Yes,
and then air conditioning. Okay.
But even if they had the doors open, you still can feel the cool air, something that's just like if you're outside at a concert. People have fans, people have some type of mist, some type of something. We're talking about record-breaking heat.
It's just that when you in the car,
Charlamagne.
When you in the car and you got the air conditioning going, if you got the window down, first thing somebody says, man, put that goddamn window up, the air conditioning on.
Makes no sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be the same thing with no doors. But what does that mean for the UPS customers?
Yeah, it means a lot for us. It delivers, just so people know, UPS delivers the equivalent of about 6% of the nation's gross domestic product, which is about 25 million packages a day. So there would be some empty shelves, higher prices, because there's always going to be an opportunity for somebody to gouge and raise the price. We've seen that happen and then blame it on inflation. Slower package deliveries for customers if the strike lasts longer than a week. And competitors, FedEx and the U.S. Postal Service, they do not have the capacity to absorb 20 million packages. So this will be a major thing. I mean, just think about it. I know in my house, we ordered from Amazon. My daughter orders at least 3 or 4 times a week. So just think about how much, that would affect not only people's, regular day to day, but also the economy.
Oh, yeah. UPS workers, man, they're public servants that we don't necessarily give the just due to. You know what I mean? Like, they deserve way more credit. Because, a lot of times we look at these packages and we're just like, our Amazon package came or our package came, but somebody had to bring that. Like, they didn't just get there on their own. You know what I mean? So salute to all the UPS workers. I hope y'all get what y'all want. And doors, too. Doors, too, if y'all need them.
Jesus Christ.
They got doors. Well, I want to say this before I get out of here, just so folks can be on the lookout for this today. Today in the Supreme Court, major decisions are coming down that will affect affirmative action, some issues on LGBTQ rights, student loan forgiveness. I covered that story a few weeks ago, and religion rights. So I'll bring you more of that and see what those updates look like today.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at it right now, too. UPS instructions delivery workers to keep their right side doors open even when they're behind the wheel. Though it may look like the trucks are missing a door, the doors are actually built to slide to the side rather than swing open. And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, The Straight Shot.
I'm trying to help y'all with y'all little flirting, trying to chime in on the husbands.
I'm minding my business. The Straight Shot. Make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, The Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Thank you, Tez.
Absolutely.
Well, let's open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. We were having this discussion yesterday behind the scenes, and we were saying that Ladies, if a woman compliments a guy, fellas, do you feel like she is flirting or trying to open a door for you to be able to holler at her?
Oh, yeah, because during Donkey of the Day, the guy who robbed a young lady and, then still tried to holler at her.
Yep.
I think he felt like, he had an opportunity to holler at her because he told her, follow me on Facebook, and so she followed him.
So he thought he had a chance.
That's what I think. I think a lot of guys feel like that. I hear guys say stuff like that all the time. A girl can just be like, oh, nice shirt. A girl could be like, nice shoes. And in the guy's mind, he's like, oh, yeah, she want to get with me. Or a girl can look at your story. You're like, oh, yeah, she want me.
I mean, that's a little different looking at the story. But
what you mean? I might follow you.
Because sometimes you go through one story and it just goes randomly through story after story after story after story. Doesn't mean you're trying to look at somebody particular.
Not at all.
If a woman goes out of her way to say, that doesn't know you, right, and says, you know what? You got a nice shirt on today.
She might just think you got a nice shirt on.
All right, let's open up the phone lines. Fellas, how do you feel? Or do you feel like she's opening the door for you to be able to holler?
I got on an 85 South Show shirt right now. Somebody might see my shirt, a young woman, or a young man, and be like, hey, I like that shirt. You know what I mean? Because they like the 85 South Show. That got nothing to do with me.
Okay. But if a young man says, like, remember you was walking down in front of MTV back in the day?
That was different.
Why?
Because they was complimenting my physique. Okay, and it was a group full of gay guys.
So they could have just said, that's a nice physique. No. I want that physique.
They didn't say you got a nice physique. They said, Charlamagne, don't you try to walk past us with all that ass. That's exactly what they said. Okay, so that's different.
Okay.
That was actually sexual harassment.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
Did you turn around, though?
I felt threatened. I did. I wanted to keep everything copacetic, okay?
800-585-1051. Fellas, if a woman compliments you that doesn't know you, do you think that's opening the door for hollering? And ladies, if you compliment a man, does it mean that you kind of being flirty? Let's talk about it. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.